What's up, everybody? This is Manny Bothans, and you're listening to the Manny Bothans is Primary Podcast. Brought to you by me, Manny Bothans, and some other folks who will start their intros right now. Let's go ahead and start off at the top. I do believe that is Damien.
Yes, that would be me. I am Damien Scathalar. Long story short, I'm the recently reinstated CEO of the Scath Trust Corporation because, confusion and miscommunication and lack of communication. So, yes, I am me and I am alone, but I have my own corpse, so I feel special.
You want special snowflake. Kazumi, it's your turn.
Kazumi's gone forever.
No, I'm here. I thought Damien had something else to contribute.
Not yet, I'm waiting.
Oh, okay. So I'm still Kazumi Umbrelli, and still the CEO and all the directors of Matsuya Heavy Industries. And, wow, I'm just docking in the Mar, and what's all those fancy graphics around the station?
Wait, you're docking in Amar?
I'm confused. Yeah. Well, I had to bring all that sweet PI loot from the wormhole into Amar. So I figured I'd do that just before the show. So, yeah, I just can't seem to get my account past 7.5 billion. I don't understand. Anyways, with that, let's kick it down to Scott.
Hi everyone, I'm Scott Von Cleef, member of Pathway to the Next Wormhole Corporation. Yeah.
Awesome. Tanis?
Hello again, this is Tanis from Just Let It Happen Alliance. I'm just your friendly neighborhood HR. Currently experiencing a food coma. I forgot carbs are a thing. Oh my gosh. So peppermint tea is required. I'll share some if you guys give me a heads up.
It's alright. I got my barley pop.
There you go.
And I am Manny Bothans, world's worst recruiter with Merrick Enterprises, line member with Just Let It Happen Alliance, Orca booster extraordinaire, and currently waving in local at Kazumi Umbrelli. What's up, bruh?
Don't blow his cover, Manny.
Oh, it's alright. He waved back. Yay, I feel special.
We all feel special, yay!
None of you are special, you're all the same.
We're special in our own ways. Leave it alone.
Okay, so it's been a while since I've been on the podcast, and we had an election here, and I wanted to know how many people voted for Trump.
Well,
Sorry, I,
think it
don't
was
want
40,
certain
I think
supporters
it was,
to burn my house down, so...
Yeah, 47% of America. So your chances of bumping into one are about half.
About, but not quite.
I've been spending my entire weekend looking at all replays of all the liberal newscaster losing their shit during the election night coverage.
I won't tell you who I voted for, but I am looking at real estate prices in Alberta.
What? No, it's a cool place. I like living here, so. The thing is, it's pretty expensive unless you, you can move to Red Deer. No, Lethbridge, if you don't mind wind. Yep. They have a
I
really
never
nice
leave
big
my
bridge.
house, so win.
Oh, you can hear it in your house.
Is the internet fast?
It's half decent. I mean, we're talking about Canada here.
Yeah.
Netflix said that, Canada has almost third world internet up here. Something, all of the cable companies have a monopoly on this shit, and we're really angry about it and really bitter.
It's called an oligarchy. It's like a monopoly, but it's totally legal.
So, imagine this. Because the cable that was laid by the government, right? And then the government sold it to cable companies because people were like, government regulation is bad, rah, rah, rah. Yeah, well, it got worse because cable companies just went in and were like, okay, we bought all of it. Now, let us jack your prices all to fucking shit and give you really shitty service. What are you gonna do? Which provider are you gonna go with? You're not gonna go with anyone. Google Fiber? That's cute. They're not here yet. So, it's... Oof,
Time
it
to buy one
sucks.
of those Google Wi-Fi drones.
Did we
Well,
feed drone?
On a positive note, think it's SpaceX technically, but Elon Musk's one of his companies filed with the FCC to launch like 4,000 something freaking satellites, which would start the satellite internet worldwide. Everyone gets 1 gig speed internet type thing.
Warp drive active.
I'm not a big fan of more space junk.
Well,
That'll be really expensive when it first comes out.
I know what you're talking about, the more space junk, and they were talking because that's more satellites than all space junk currently up there combined. However, the one thing that's interesting about his satellites, and partially why he needs so many, is because they're really small comparatively space junk. Like right
If you
now,
call
they're just,
850 pounds small,
well, it's better than 4,000 something pounds or bigger.
And don't forget, this is space, and space is like really, 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 really big, yo.
Well, actually, his would only be, I think, 750 miles, where most satellites are like 4,000 miles up there. So his would be very low orbit to allow for a constant signal or a stronger signal or whatever.
lower
mean-
latency.
I like most of his ideas, but this one I'm like, huh. I
It'll
mean,
be fine.
it's a good idea, but let's see it in practice. And the thing is, the only way you're gonna see it in practice is if you do it. So we'll see. Could be interesting. But I still want those sweet, sweet solar panel tiles. Huh.
Oh yeah.
That'd be dope shit.
Yeah, I wish I could do solar panels where I live, but I can barely do car windshields where I live. One
What?
bad thunderstorm comes through, and it's time to replace all the glass.
Oh yeah, no, it's there's a section of geography up here in between Airdrie and Red Deer, and that place is where all of the frickin' meteorologists do their studies for thunderstorms. I like every single night in the summer. There's always something crazy going on north of us. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Now, I realized one day that I could not have solar panels on my house when I saw this dude walking down the street. A really bad hailstorm just hit, and he's walking down the street, blood streaming from his head, holding a bloody chunk of ice bigger than his head in his hands.
Yep.
And I'm not saying it's a bloody chunk of ice by, it's just a big chunk of ice. It was literally covered in the man's blood.
Yep. Falls from the sky, hits terminal velocity. It's a dick. Hits you in the head. Hurts a lot. Yep.
Now, just imagine those were solar panels on my roof.
Just put some armor plating,
Okay, let's put some things that block the sunlight on the things that are supposed to absorb the fucking sunlight.
Bulletproof glass, you'll be good.
Transparent aluminum.
Hey, that's a thing now.
It is.
Another Star Trek invention come to reality.
Woo woo.
Oh, that was
But-
always a thing. That's what the windows on the when they were building the nuclear bombs in the containment cells.
Well, yeah, but it's a newer version, I guess, that's thin enough to actually be used in a way that was done on Star Trek. That's I know it's just a reformulation of it or whatever, or a new way. I don't know, whatever.
So
Don't worry, Manny. Just move out to California.
Plenty of sun here.
Plenty
Too
of
much
blue.
sun.
California's a blue state. You'll feel right at home.
Yeah, and I'm leaving as soon as
I just got punched in the face by a 10-meter tall robot.
Okay, so why are you fighting a Gundam?
It's actually called Titan. I don't even know.
Oh, so it's like a Gundam, only not as cool. Okay.
Way cooler.
2 words, bruh. Beam saber.
So
I stole this robot's battery. And ran away.
Anyways, something I'm on the Eve subreddit, and you can have naked people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm intrigued. That is rather interesting. And that gap, girls gotta do some leg presses, cause oh shit. You got little toothpick legs, girl. All of her fat is on her boobies. It's a good place to have fat.
Well, that's what happens when men make female avatars.
Yep. That's okay, though.
Speaking of making avatars, Tuesday I had a very special stream on my channel. It was broken up into 2 parts. One was about an hour and a half, and the other one was about 2 hours. The first part, an hour and a half, was my wife recreating her avatar on her own account.
I thought you were gonna, like, start singing, "Do you want to build a Titan?" and zoom around the stars. Because, you know, avatars, I'll show myself out now. Thank you! But, yeah, character creation is serious fucking business. Whenever I start a new character on Skyrim or Eve, I'm like, well, I'm not sure. That piercing, it looks good, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a solid 7. I think I can do better, but I should make note of this.
45 minutes into the character creation process, I'm just thinking, oh god, just hit OK. I will buy you a character resculpt certificate. It will be the best 400 million ISK I have ever spent. Ever! Did it happen? Of course not.
Never!
But after that, she spent about 2 hours doing the new player experience, and I'm sitting like right next to her head listening to all the voiceovers because I can't do so on my account.
You haven't rolled up an alpha yet?
No, not yet.
I was thinking about doing it today, but I just didn't want to burn down my whole Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I streamed an alpha the other night, but I didn't spend anywhere near that time on the character because I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep playing the character. It was one of those like, yeah, I'm just going to do this just to do it. So I think I spent 10 minutes on the character.
But yeah, she played Eve Online. I finally got her to do it. And surprisingly enough, a lot of the new player experience actually showed her exactly what she needed to do. But the only thing I helped her with was fitting up her incursus for its first run.
Oh, that is the hardest part of Eve. Like, hands down, as a new player. You think, oh yeah, I can fit, like, lasers to any ship, right? Nope. Good times. Then you have to remember to put ammo in there, too. See, that's the tricky one. I remember fitting up my first Merlin when I was, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks old or something stupid. Like, why can't I shoot things? Eva comes over and looks over, and he's like, well, honey, you don't have any ammo. No! It was great.
I did pretty much the same thing with my Rifter. I was like, why can't I shoot anything? They're like, you don't have any bullets. I'm like, what are you talking about? Did you do this? Yeah, I thought it was loaded. You ran out. Yeah, why can't I just generate ammo on my ship while I'm flying around? Come on.
Exactly.
Because you're not using civilian guns?
Don't crush our dreams, Manny. We.
So what do you think about the changes so far?
I haven't done a whole bunch of mining, but I do like the fact that people are being idiots with rook walls. It makes for some great viewing on Zed Killboard. I'm like, oh, look at him, he's being so cute. Aww.
So I noticed that on the I went last week and tried to do the kill the NPC mining fleets on the test server, but it was really hard to find any. But I noticed that here on Tranquility, they're all over the place.
I actually got to fight like 3 of those just today.
How'd it go?
We killed the first 2, and the third one showed up with cruisers, and we lost a hurricane.
How many ships were in your fleet?
6. 4 hurricanes and 2 augers.
Remind me what a augurer looks like.
Tech 1, Amar Logi.
Ah, okay, yeah.
It looks like the Guardian, but less like Iron Man. It's great.
Pretty much. It's not a Sorum.
Johnny Hughes was on, I think it was a Talking in Stations, said he was killing them with a stealth bomber. Doing a solo with a stealth bomber, so...
It's actually quite easy to do. We do it here in Wormholes pretty often. It's just pretty much playing with your cloak. So you shoot, you cloak, you shoot, you cloak, you shoot, you cloak. It's very, very fun. My buddy Malin, we were trying to clear out a gas site to go mine it. There were 4 battleships, and he managed to die twice because his cloak was... He was too close to his missiles to cloak. That's what it is. So, he died. I lived. We mined gas, I made money. It was fun.
I also got to play around with my new Orca.
I need to buy a new one. I'm gonna go buy a new one.
I haven't figured out how to fit the new Orca yet, so... I don't know.
Well, now you can use the in-game fitting tool.
Oh yes, the ghost fitting. The
Which-
spook fitting.
Which honestly is by far one of the most useful features CCP has ever implemented in this game. It gives you more information than PIFA and EFT, and you actually get to see the ships you're building, which is nice. It is a gun good feature. I use it very often. And it's very, very well integrated with the market, UIs and all that, so you can really do anything you feel like with it.
So one of those things you have to be in JITA to make it really work well, or can it just be
Pretty
anywhere?
much.
Yeah. Well, if you
want
wanna buy
if you want to
stuff.
buy everything, yes.
If you want to just play around with fittings and theory craft, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah. But if you actually want to buy things, I'd recommend being at your local market hub or JITA.
So now I've
some
got to
other-
convince my wife to do the career agents.
Well, there shouldn't be much convincing. The game pretty much forces them upon you.
I've got to convince my wife to log back in.
What,
What's all this
she got scared?
convincing?
Yeah.
Well, what did you
just
do?
tell her.
Did you undock something big?
Nah, I wasn't even logged into the game.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what they all say. You worked a Balgorn on top of her, didn't you? Neutered her out, didn't let her leave.
No, she went to the final battle site for the Drifter Hive, and she died. You know, like you're supposed to, but, you know, she still died.
She got spooked and, just got those combat freezes. Just done.
No, I think
Television.
what really put her off is when she got potted, the camera angle focused on her corpse was, like, right there on her ass, and like, oh, look, there's your frozen dead tushy.
Ah, that's perfect.
That's what you did.
Wait. Actually, I got a bit of the combat shakes today, but not on TQ. I had just gotten done in a Nix, done building on Sissy. We're using the new structures and stuff, and I was on Sissy and worked Combat Area 1 and 6 Tech C and blew some stuff up. And then an Onyx tackled me and 3 Nixes were up on top of me. I made it out in 17% armor.
That's some butt pucker levels. About
Yeah.
5,000. Not 9,000, but it's like...
Yeah, it was not fun. And actually, just as I hit the warp button and I got to warp speed, Nag decided to drop right on top of me. And if he had been there and tackled me, I would have been screwed.
But luckily I managed to kill the Hick, and the guy who was actually in the Hick gave me some pointers on how to kill Hicks. So I'll be packing some of those bombers next time. Apparently the sniper bombers, sniper, that's how you say sniper, right? Yeah. The sniper bombers are extremely effective against heavy interdictors, or stuff with low sig. So gonna be grabbing a few of those next time and melting some guys when they try to tackle me. You know, for as long as I can until they decide to rehash Sissy again. So that's what I did today, and I also did some wormhole stuff. So yeah.
I had my heart going earlier, and I know it's going to sound stupid to all you know, people who go through freaking fleets and all this other stuff, but I was sitting there, and I have my laptop sitting here, so I had my an alpha logged in on my laptop, and I was trying to bring them through a pipe, a low-sec pipe. So I was like, oh, I don't have my Nemesis. What do I have? I only had one thing that could cloak, and that was my Prowler. So I was like, okay, let me go over there. Let me scope this system. There have been like 20-something ships destroyed in the last hour. So let me see what they're doing. And it was 2 on one gate, 5 on the other. And somebody came through, so I was kind of watching them. I was like 150k off. I was sitting there watching them just explode stuff, do whatever they're doing. And somewhere I hit the wrong button.
Decloaked.
And I decloaked. And so immediately it was like, no, don't see me. Damn it. And started trying to click on the other gate. And I was just getting targeted when I recloaked and disappeared. But it was like that, okay.
Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh no, this is not good.
I think I was 2 systems away when my heart finally slowed down.
Yep.
That's how it works. You get those combat shakes and they don't go off for a while. I logged into TQ after that and just kind of sat down. Got my Astero cloaked up and yeah.
Yeah,
Watch-
after that I went and played some more Overwatch.
Yeah, go watch the
I
Pretty
played a game or two
Stars.
today. Symmetra or Sombra is a weird character to play. Very weird.
Yeah, I've
Weird
only
but
played
fun.
a little bit. I've only been
Yeah,
playing
she
for
is
this free
fun.
weekend.
But the main problem with her is she has such little health and no way to stop it from coming on. So like
You
with
gotta
Genji,
be
with
quick with those
Genji-
translocators.
yeah, with Genji you have, you know, the blade and stuff, and with Pharah you can fly. Her only escape option is her teleport cube and her cloak, and if you're in the middle of something, you're not gonna get out. So, but yeah, that was fun today. And what else? I played some City Skylines today. Made
That's a fun game.
2 giant dams that both provide like 600 megawatts of power together. And then after they had gotten done filling up the reservoir, which took like 3 hours because they're massive, I decided to bust both dams. And
you record
flooded
it?
my city. Huh? No, I didn't.
Oh,
I kind of want to grab the Natural Disasters DLC that's coming out, because that will actually treat water stuff and it'll actually knock down buildings and stuff.
huh? Yeah, I still got to get the nighttime or whatever.
I didn't get
DLC.
After Dark. I got the snow one, and that one's difficult. Snow
Yeah.
one looks really good though. Let's see, where is City Skylines? I don't even know if that new DLC's out yet. DLC. Nope, Natural Disasters is not out yet. So, yeah.
Playing Pokemon. What?
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. No,
Just let it happen.
I'm not gonna be quiet.
Speaking
Oh my God.
of, just
Wow.
let it happen.
I'm done. She just,
No.
Bye.
This actually really segues into something really interesting. We have some new friends, don't we, Tannis?
We do. And I haven't been able to chat with them yet, so kind of sucks, but, you know, adulting and life. But, yeah, some bros have joined the Alliance, which is pretty cool. I always like it when new corps come in because they all have different viewpoints and ways of doing things, so. Yay! Yep.
I just like where we poached them from.
It's not very
they were
surprising.
former Volt.
They were also former skeleton crew, the poor fucks.
Volts, those silly
Oh
devils.
man, that's
I
gotta
killed two
suck.
of their carriers. It's awesome. Volt are bad. Mainly because they decided to ally with the one people you never ally with, Pravi. Also, Joker, if you ever listen to us, thanks again for getting us blue to Pravi. I'm gonna BRB real quick. I actually do have to go do something.
Sweet, okay.
Yeah, I love poaching people from the enemy. It's super fun. What's better than beating your enemy out on the field of battle? Convincing them that your side is the right one.
It's not really that hard with Volt, and actually it's one of the easiest ways to get people on, so it's not necessarily preferred because their priorities may be skewed. So you have to get down to the root cause why they want to join, and then do extensive research and good questions. good questions to really figure out what the culture of that corporation is and how is it going to affect your current and future dynamic. Yay, HR! Ooh.
Wow, I went through that data site rather quickly. Holy shit, I found a Yangjun Thunder Kite. What the fuck is this?
Warp drive active.
I'm actually a little scared to find out.
I believe in you.
This wormhole is all cute and stuff. It only has one wormhole out. Which means I wouldn't be surprised if it's bubbled here to fucking back. That is, of course, if they caught me. Which they didn't. So, yeah. Oh my god, so many updates. Pretty explosions. I've been just staring at ships as they go kaboom, and it is pretty. For those who've been living under a rock, the ships now explode the same way that citadels do. Instead of just one massive kaboom, blooming little ice flower and then nothingness, you actually start to see explosions ripple through the target ship's hull, and then it explodes in a glorious multicolored fireball of prettiness that I have been really, really, really enjoying. I also got my worm exploded today. Finally. I've been I had fit up a worm, and I fought Raffine Smith with it, who thought I was a total turd for doing so, but still a valid kill, so I don't care. And I had been waiting for a pretty long time for her to come up with a frigate counter for it, but she never did, and so I ended up moving it back home. And I sacrificed that worm nobly to save a lumpy Rorqual. And I didn't last more than 90 seconds, but still brought a VNI down to half structure, so win for me. Let's see, what else has been going on? I have been just ratting my face off. I had a bunch of ISK, then I bought an Orca and a skill injector, and then I gave one of my followers about 550 mil because he subscribed to Eve, and we got a Plex out of the deal. So I don't have to pay for my account this month, which is nice because I'm still, transitioning into my new job.
Docking permission requested.
Which is actually my old job.
Docking request accepted.
Now, one of my coworkers, he was working on the Hillary campaign for a few months before the election, and he just like took the whole week off after the election. Nobody saw hide nor hair of him. Fortunately, I was able to talk all of my coworkers out of decorating his desk in red and putting up a wall in front of his computer.
Wow.
Because I think that would have made him just a little salty.
Yeah, that would make me annoyed, and I didn't even care per se. I didn't vote for any candidate that was on the ballot because there was a perfect post that I saw months and months ago, and it says, if I vote for Obi-Wan Kenobi because I can't morally vote for the Emperor, that does not mean that I am voting for Jabba the Hutt. And it was a perfect example, but it's so true because it's this whole thing. Well, if you voted for this person, you threw it away. Like, well, okay, so what you're saying, because 47 for him, 48 for her, so you're saying 5% of the population threw away their vote? Or if the people who voted, we're not even talking about the full population here. You know, it's just one of those, like, no, that's not how that works. We should be able, like other countries, to have viable third or even fourth political parties. But because of the media and everything else we have, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
So,
it
like,
never happened.
Not anytime soon, not on that level of a scale. But certain states are shifting. There's several independent and these third-party candidates winning states at different levels. Time will tell, though.
The only one I
You wake
remember
me up
seeing
when they
was
started winning
Arizona.
electoral votes.
What was that?
Arizona was the only one that had a decent showing on a third party, right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't remember all the fine details, but yeah, the electoral needs to be redone. I don't think the electoral needs to go away. I do think the electoral needs to stay. However, I think the way Maine did it this year, where they actually listened to the districts, because based off of your districts and everything else, that's how they decide how many electorals you get. Very similar to how they decide how many representatives in the that part of the Congress you get. So if this district, listen to that district, but unlike that, because you have in California, you have districts that actually should have gone the other way, and in other states that went all Republican, no, you had this district, it should have gone the other way. I think that's what they need to do. Still listen to the districts, still let the majority of a district, so then the majority of the districts across the U.S. But yeah, not popular vote, because then you have the analogy of it's two wolves and a sheep trying to decide what's for dinner.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. Simply on the fact of how old the electoral system is and why the electoral system was designed the way that it is. So back in the back when times, when there was no light speed communication, you literally had to take your electoral college. You had to do your election in your state, and all the ballots had to be ponied over to the Capitol, and then the Capitol would send its electors to to Washington D.C. Based on the vote, which is why the actual electoral vote takes place in December, because it would take that long for you to tally up the results and then get those electors over to the Electoral College.
True. I am aware of that part of things, but there's the other part. If you had a system based purely off the popular vote of an entire country, you would no longer have to pay attention to whole states, which, granted, I know they're not the high priorities when they only have 2 electoral votes anyways, but there is still an effort, at least somewhat made, to visit the farming communities out in the Dakotas and here and there, and there's these places that would completely be ignored if all they had to do was get enough people in the major cities across the U.S., New York, Miami, L.A., Seattle, Portland, if all we have to do is get the majority of those places to vote one way, which is kind of how it already is, which is why they have the popular vote, then you're having all these cities decide what rural America wants too. And that's the one thing that really gets me from. And once I kind of learned that factoid, which is a part of another reason why it was invented, so that way everyone would kind of get their 2 cents.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I'm not
the
saying
way
first
it,
past the post is the best, but there's a YouTuber out there. He goes by the name CGP Grey, and I would recommend you take a look at his "What's Wrong with the Electoral College" videos, because he'll drop some knowledge on your ass.
Remember, it's the census which determines the congressional districts. So
And that
every 10
happened
years,
6
we
years ago?
we run the census, and that reallocates the congressional districts.
And the worst part
And-
is, that doesn't even reallocate the Electoral College votes. The Electoral College votes are not based on congressional districts. If that was the case, California would have another 8 votes.
They already have 55.
Right, but they take 8 votes away from California to give votes to smaller states.
I'll have to go back and look. It's been quite some time since I looked at how they determine how many electorals per state.
That actually hasn't changed in the last 30 years.
Well, a couple things. One, get out and vote. If you don't, you should probably do it.
Get out and vote. If you didn't, you have no room to bitch, which is why I can bitch. Wah, bitchin', 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 bitchin'.
Exactly. Like, I do really enjoy it up here. We don't have a perfect system either, but also our politics are not sensationalized. Our media are not as crazy. Like, looking at the difference in between debates from Canada to the United States is absolutely insane.
Canadians are
just-
too polite to chant "lock her up, lock her up, lock her up."
Well, it's not just about politeness. It's actually about respect. Just because you don't hold the same viewpoints as someone, it doesn't mean you get to treat them like shit. And I really think that's the unifying mentality that really makes us strong as a populace. Because it doesn't matter what your skin color is. It doesn't matter what your viewpoints are. Well, I mean, for the most part, like 99% doesn't matter what your viewpoints are. We're all Canadian, and it's all a really big fucking deal to have your voice heard. So there you go. So it just stuns us to look down at the United States and go, how? It's a very big reminder to not let that happen up here.
We're all Canadian. We're all going to enjoy our poutine and curds, and then drink lots of beer, and then recover the next morning with pancakes and maple syrup.
Exactly, but the way our parliament is set up, like, don't get me wrong, we still got a lot of beef with the Senate because they get appointed for life, and that's kind of shit. They need terms. But
Yes.
also, because we have more than a two-party system, if you have a majority, you still, the two parties, or actually more than two parties, that did not get a majority, they really need to band together to really help get things passed in Parliament. And especially if you have a minority government, you really got to get your shit together and make sure that you cooperate. So it's none of this super partisan bullshit where you have people blocking things left, right, and center. The parties actually have to work together, and if Parliament doesn't pass something, especially the Prime Minister's party, they can go into a vote of non-confidence. No one wants to deal with that shit because then you have to do the election all over again. Imagine that.
So I found another little piece of EVE Online news that I wanted to pimp real quick. Dapper Squid is now a thing. Just Let It Happen Alliance now has an Alliance logo. and it is amazing.
I want to name him Octavius von Squishyheim. Sir Octavius von Squishyheim. That'd be great.
The Dapper Squid. Although I think I don't know, the hat looks more like a helmet now.
Maybe. Wouldn't surprise me. I just eventually gave up with trying to pass ideas and shit. I mean, I would have done it a little bit cleaner, a little bit bolder. You would have been able to see it a little bit better. But, you know, after like 6 months of trying to get people to agree, that was the best result of it.
And I can see where CCP has made their mark on it. I've actually got the Alliance logo up over the advertising screen in Amar. And whenever the advertising screen gets pretty bright, you can see where they've washed out some of the color.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still awesome. We have an Alliance logo now. We don't have just, stars in space.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to see stars in space, I'll just, undock.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, let's see here. There was something else I wanted to go over, and I forget what it was. We'll be getting our Sunesis destroyers in 2 days. Oh man! So somebody in test posted up a picture on the Eve subreddit. Now witness the firepower of a fully armed and operational battle station, and it's the space battle over the fourth moon of Endor. Only instead of the Death Star, it's Keep Star.
Woo.
All I want to know is, where is my EVE Online Millennium Falcon? The closest thing I got to a Millennial Falcon is a fucking Ocketer.
Don't say it too loud. It'll be in the game soon.
TM. But I've been looking a lot through the EVE subreddit, and it is just absolutely exploded with new people asking, questions that are both interesting and obvious to veteran players, but not so much to new players. And I forget how much research I actually had to do to get as, I won't say good, as knowledgeable as about the game as I am right now.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Like one day you just know shit and you're like, what just happened?
Looks like CO2 whelped a whole bunch of T3Ds in the conga line.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do it in a fabulous fashion.
We're all gonna explode. Wow. We're all gonna explode now.
Yep.
So I got to test the mining output of a Orca, and I've got to say the fixes that they've made to the mining drones actually almost make it worth my time.
That's always helpful. Goodness. I'm gonna have to go soon.
What's going on?
Oh, just sleepy. Death. Which sucks. I gotta get up early tomorrow, even though it's my day off, so... It kinda sucks butts.
Let's see here. There was something that I saw on an alpha clone question that I wanted to bring up.
You gotta copy past to this stuff when you see it.
Well, it's hard to copy past to things where where I'm normally at when I'm taking a look at the EVE Online subreddit.
On the pooper.
You said it.
Yay, look at me go.
In more ways than one. But, where was it? Oh yeah, somebody was going over the super awesome time they got a whole bunch of loot from a wreck in the game. So they're going out, they're doing a mission, and they come across a wreck that has like millions upon millions of ISK worth of loot in it. It's full of modules and guns and ammo and some drones. Not a whole bunch, but some. And he puts on the end of it. Then he realized that the wreck that it came from was his own. Oops.
I was flying around on that alpha and wasn't paying attention. All of a sudden, somebody was talking to me. They're asking about manual flight. And I said, "Yeah, you can do it, but it's not really convenient."
Oh yeah, I showed my wife that.
And I happened to be flying around a station and found a frozen corpse. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna grab this here, dude. It's not weird at all. Ignore me." So now my alpha has a frozen corpse in the hangar.
Which is exactly where you should keep your frozen corpses. Either that or in the ship that you use to feed the drifters.
Well, I don't have one of those yet. It's only an alpha.
You don't need an expensive ship to feed the drifters. You just need one with a cargo hold.
I seriously think I before I logged off, I finally got the free venture you get when you're doing the mining missions. I was like, oh, free ship, yay!
Huh. I just saw an interesting comment. Something nice about alpha accounts for folks who've been playing a while. Having an alpha account, it really gets you out of the, oh, I need to train these 27 skills so I can fit these 12 modules to have this level of efficiency trap, because you're not going to train all of them.
Yeah, I was reading somewhere, I don't remember where, I don't remember if they actually had math to support this or not, but they said an alpha at alpha speed without changing anything, it'll still take them like 4 years to learn all the skills that they have or whatever. And I'm like, holy moly, you're on a trial account, it'll still take you 4 years to quote unquote master your clone.
Until you upgrade to an Omega account, and then it'll take like 3-4 months.
For those skills, maybe, but then you still got everything else that'll take you however many years.
Yeah. EVE Online is the game you never perfect, unless you're Iron Bank.
Just
Hey,
buy
he won
skills.
Eve. CCP forced him to win Eve.
Well, yeah, he used all that dank casino ISK to max out all his skills. He literally has nothing left to train.
Also
Wow.
because he no longer plays the game because he can't.
Wow. Still had a maxed out clone. That's an achievement if anyone if words English that's still an achievement by anyone's book.
If Eve had achievements, that would be one of them.
Thanks for the follow, Jardondes? I'm butchering that name terribly. Thanks, Jay. Oh man, I got to fly a hurricane today. I haven't flown a hurricane in so long. I think like the first and last time I actually flew a hurricane to do anything meaningful, I lost it in a wormhole in my first ever ship loss. I forgot what it looks like for a Mimitar to actually finish a ship. Jardin Dens. Ah, okay. Wow, my dashboard is really behind the times. Sorry, I'm taking a look at my Twitch dashboard where I try to keep an eye on the chat, and my stream is like super behind what everyone else is apparently seeing.
Yeah, that tends to happen. I noticed that when I first start streaming, and then an hour later, it's so much farther, and then it's a little farther. There was one night I was trying to test it out because my desktop was messing up, so I pulled it up on my tablet, and my guess is because there's less stuff going on the tablet because it's just trying to stream the data versus the computer's doing everything else. If somebody was watching on the tablet versus my computer, it was almost a good 10 seconds sooner, like closer to live on the tablet than it was the computer. It's very weird.
It's absolutely crazy. And I think it's time to change one of the pictures that is used for information security on my screen here. Oh, wow. No, I need to shrink that down a bit. Scott, your logo's too damn big.
Not my fault, you're just an idiot.
Put it into a vector program, make it happy.
Now my stream just caught up. Yeah, that's a little big.
There we go. So my wife is getting super mad at me every time she watches me play Eve now. She keeps calling me a show-off because 9 times out of 10 when I'm playing, I am literally just ratting my face off, and I only have to look at the screen every minute or so. So I'll have Eve going on my laptop monitor, and I've got it plugged up into my big screen so I can use it as a second display. And so I've got another game going on the big screen. So I'm literally playing 2 games at once, and she's just like, "Show off! Why you gotta show off like that?" I'm like, "I'm sorry." It all really stemmed from her trying to stream Star Trek Online from a potato.
Actually, my favorite is watching Evi play 9 accounts. I'm just like, the fact.
Yeah, earlier one of my kids came up to me because I had my main on my right screen, mining. I had Overwatch up on my main screen, and then I had my laptop up with my alpha, one of my alphas in station, waiting, hoping that those guys would leave that other system. And one of my kids comes up, "Are you playing 3 games?" Like, sure, but technically no. I'm only playing 2, sort of.
I'm playing one game, and then I've got another game open twice that I'm just looking at.
It was funny. I forgot that I had turned up the some of the noises on Eve, and I was sitting there doing something in Overwatch. I think I was in one of the menus, and all of a sudden I hear the alarm noise, and I'm like, "What's that? What did I do? What did I click on?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's over there." It was some freaking NPC rats coming to try to, hurt me.
Oh man, Tanis found the perfect gif for how I feel whenever I'm being attacked by multiple interceptors. I'm just being chased by chickens. Reminds me of that one Chinese picture of this dude getting chased by a swarm of monkeys.
Oh my goodness. Actually, how you make that hen gif better is if you play Yakety Sax over it. You know that song, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Just find it and do it. It'll be amazing. I would do it. But effort. Also, Pokemon.
Yeah, no, still not gonna play the Pokemons.
It's nostalgic and easy. And it's
Well,
a good,
there's one thing to be said for nostalgia, and then there's another thing altogether for shitting on the strategic element of that nostalgic game.
I think X and Y really shit all over it, which was terrible. But Sun and Moon, I'm really pleased with their battle mechanics.
Oh no, I was talking about Go.
Oh, Go? Yeah, good game. Eva loves it. Been trying to get me to play it for years. I really
Pokemon
should.
Go?
No, the actual game Go.
Oh. Yeah,
But I
the
mean,
game
Pokemon Go, Pokemon Go, it just didn't have enough content in it. I'm playing Pokemon Sun and Moon right now, so.
See, the Pokemon Go thing sucks for me because of where I live. There is nothing here for wild. You have to either go to a Pokestop, which we have a few. I have one like half a mile away, and use the lure, or you have to use an incense. And it's just like, yeah, no thanks.
Nah. In Omaha, there's all kinds of nests for all different types of rare Pokemon. That's not my issue with it. My issue with Pokemon Go is that the battle mechanic system, there's not much strategic element to it. It's you pick the opposing type, you tap your screen furiously, question mark, you win.
Yeah. I don't really play it for the battling. So. I also find it very silly because I used to competitively play the actual Pokemon game, so it doesn't do anything for me.
I was the king of Red and Blue on my block for like a year, solid. You know, I had like the most balanced comp, and nobody could top me. I would give them like weeks to prepare their Pokemon, and I would still just stomp people's faces in because there was strategic elements to that.
As far as, Red and Blue could do it, but...
You know, you had 4 moves, and you had to make the most out of them.
Alakazam, Scyther, Snorlax. Who else of the original 151? Mewtwo. Yeah, Mew, if you're lucky and get Mew. Yeah, there you go. You can win with those.
Or just know how to force the glitch.
Yeah, Pokemon Red and Blue were Yeah, they weren't as balanced, so it was much easier to sweep.
Nah. Gengar.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Gengar.
Oh yeah, Gengar was OP as fuck. Charizard. Raichu. Um,
Red Gyarados.
Didn't exist.
I wasn't too worried about Gyarados at the time. Let's
You
see.
zap it with Raichu. It's 4 times effective. It's easy. Dragonite.
I'm trying to remember who I used for grass type. I think it was, whatever the fuck, Vileplume. Was Vileplume the end evolution?
Yep.
Yeah, Vileplume. Then I had, what was it? Onyx. And what the fuck was that last? It was a actually, I think it was a Gyarados. Yeah, I needed some water type moves.
Yeah, the last one I played regularly was Silver, and that one I forced.
Silver is amazing.
Silver was good. My brothers and I got Silver and Gold, and of course, since I was the older, Silver became mine, and they could share Gold because, you know, they're littler. But we'd sit there and play or whatever. But I'd also had transferred stuff from my Yellow because I'd played Yellow all the way through and had everything, including Mew and all that stuff. So I transferred a bunch of stuff to myself, and then found out that if you disconnected the cable at just the right time, you could duplicate Pokemon. So ones that you were only supposed to have one of, I had multiple of.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which games it was. I think it was... there was Soul Silver and Heart Gold. Those were, pretty decent. It was the games after that we went into full competitive swing, like EVs and IVs and team comps and stuff like that. That was pretty intense. That was pretty amazing. I kind of threw my hands up in the air when they brought Megas in. I was just like, no, this is too much shit. I can't even. So it's a really nice, this newest generation here, Sun and Moon. It's sure there's Z moves and whatever, but it just feels a little bit more simple. And the meta isn't just totally, absolutely fucking turned on its head yet, at least from what I can see. But yeah, back in my day, EV training and IV breeding was dicks. Yep. And like half the people at least listening right now are like, what the shit is this chick on? Like, what? I just want to take my Pikachu and like, I don't know, throw it at things.
Or they're saying, I thought I was listening to an Eve podcast. What?
Never. Manny hasn't given me cues for Eve yet. I'm not very interesting when it comes to Eve either. It's like, Tannis, what do you do? Well, when children fight, I get them to try and stop fighting and start acting like grown-ups again. Do you play the game? Kind of. Do you know the meta? Nope.
I shoot rocks.
Exactly.
I do like the new skiff look.
Yeah.
And even though I think they took away the bonus of your one laser working at 150% or whatever, and gave you 2 lasers, it is kind of nice to be able to pull from 2 different rocks if you need to.
Yeah. I just go real asshole and just put a drone nav up top. I was lazy. I couldn't find another laser. I was like, nah, drone nav. Lol.
So, I just remembered just a moment ago something that happened during my wife's it's something that happened after stream on my wife's new player experience. So we were talking about what had just happened, She had just lost her ship and her pod, and she respawned in the station. We logged off the stream for the night, and she's like, "So, how do I get back that ship that I was just in?" I'm like, "You don't. It's gone. This isn't Star Trek Online. When the Borg kill you, you don't get back into your ship and try again. It's gone." She's
Forever.
like, "That's fucked up." I'm like, now take that feeling you're feeling right there, and imagine how much better it will feel to bring that feeling onto somebody else. And then she just looks at me like I just kicked a puppy.
You did.
I'm like, yes. Yes!
Hate flows through you. Yeah.
Your anger will make you stronger.
Pretty much.
Oh, it was just that look of, where's the man that I almost respected, that I married? He's gone now. He's gone to the dark side.
Well, they have cookies.
They do have cookies, and they are good cookies indeed.
Cookies.
They have cookies and Twi'lek dancing girls. But it was just absolutely awesome that the way her face changed. And then the next day, I get home from work and she's on my computer. She's streaming. She's doing Star Trek Online. I could tell because I could hear the phaser fire in her headphones from across the fucking house. So I creep up behind her. And I'm looking at the webcam, and I'm just looking at everybody watching on her stream. I'm like, shh. And then I creep up over to the other side of her, and I'm looking at the screen from the other side. And I'm like, shh. And then I put my hand on her shoulder. I'm like, hey, honey. She's like, oh, my God. Oh, dude, I was laughing for 5 straight minutes. When I go to post this episode, I am logging into her dashboard. And actually, you know what? I think I'm going to log into her dashboard now while we're doing the show and try and clip that, because that was fucking funny. I'm posting that shit to my YouTube. I'm an asshole.
Also, the GIF in chat. Look at it. It's amazing. You expect something. You will see something you have never seen before.
Oh, God.
That's fantastic. Oh, I have never seen that before. That's not a lie.
Yes, that is a new one.
Oh, she's so pretty. She's so pretty. She's, oh my God.
Oh, it's fantastic.
This one the rest of the universe gets to see too.
Good.
My son just informed me that there's a Sun and Moon demo on the Nintendo eShop. I think I must go download it.
Yeah, it's
Oh
it's
God,
a really
that's
good
just
polished
no.
game. Mhm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you have a deviated septum.
Yep.
That is just no.
Are you still watching it?
It's like a train wreck. You don't want to watch, but you can't look away. It's like the Hindenburg footage. It's stunning, really.
You're welcome.
And then you realize that person is fucked.
Nah. Just has one of those weird talents. Everyone's got one of those.
Well, apparently my weird talent is drink more beer than most folks have any right to survive.
I gotta think of what my weird talent would be.
That and screaming Aloha snack bar and comms while I whelp my worm.
Manny, what's my weird talent? I don't know what it is.
putting up with Space Monkey's bullshit for as long as you did?
I ignored them most of the time, though.
Well, that's your
Manny,
talent.
Actually, Manny, the secret talent is drinking as much beer as you do and smoking as much pot as you do, and then lasting past 35.
Only time will tell. We have only 4 more years remaining.
There you go.
I didn't realize when I told my wife till death do us part that I was setting a goal.
That's one way to look at it.
I'm so glad she doesn't watch the show. I would be in so much fucking trouble.
This is the one time she watches.
Oh, just my luck. She just like opens the office door. She's like, I heard you. You're an asshole.
Don't worry, I'll be sure to tell her when next time she's on the STO.
Oh, man.
Well,
That's all kinds of special. Let's see.
Well, on that happy note, what you been doing in Eve lately?
Ripping Sanchez a new one. Watching as Volt gets torn apart by Russians and Triumvirate. Taking in refugees. You know, humanitarian work.
Right. Myself, I've been really cutting down on my time in Eve. I've been trying to, what do you call it, gather my strength so that during the Thanksgiving holiday, I don't usually travel, so I'll be able to play Eve non-stop for Thanksgiving Day, the day after, and probably the day after that. So, you know, consider that a 72-hour marathon session.
Have you tried to put up an industrial complex in your wormhole yet?
Probably not going to do that. My friend who I do the high-sec mining with, he was keen to do that out in high-sec.
I gotta do it in the wormhole, man.
It doesn't really make sense in the wormhole because, you know, it just makes it a lot of logistics to get the stuff in and out. I mean, it's as good in high-sec as it is in the wormhole, right?
It's better in a wormhole, though.
Which part?
The part where you have access to all the minerals?
Yeah, but you have that in high-sec too.
Not really. I mean,
Which
sure, if you want to buy Megasite, you can. But in a wormhole, you can just mine the shit.
Yeah, I can still do that. I just mine the shit in the wormhole and bring it out to high-sec.
Yeah, but why bring it out to high-sec when you can just make it in the wormhole?
Because in the high-sec, they have to war deck you before they can start shooting your shit.
Yeah, but seriously, if somebody war decks you to get at your Citadel, do you think you have any chance in hell of stopping it?
That depends on how much trouble you cause in the system that you're at, so...
If Marmite gets a wild hair up their ass and they're like, we're going to blow up this Citadel, it's gonna die. They will just throw ISK at you and war decks until it is gone. While simultaneously creating content for members because we're not fucking giving it to them.
So, the part there is that you have to figure out what back end system I'm set up in and then come out and then, you know, go through all that trouble. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but Marmite doesn't care who they war deck. They just war deck people for the fun of it and then look for targets.
Alright, so the challenge is figure out which 3-man corp I'm in and then start shooting all the industrial arrays on those corps.
Content for content-starved pilots. And if they happen to catch an industrial array in the middle of actually trying to build something, they get loots for it. Yay, loots!
How about your Corp/Alliance? Are they setting up one?
We are.
This week or next week?
I'm not entirely sure which, because I'm not in charge of the industrial machine. That would require giving Manny Bothans sensitive information, which my alliance is very wise in not letting me have.
Yep. Love you, Manny.
I'm a great PR guy. I'm not so good with secrets.
Secrets? You mean I'm not supposed to say blah, 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 blah?
No, you're supposed to say blah, 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 but not yakety schmackety dackety back.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Blargy blarg honk is cool, but yakety schmackety, no. Gotta keep that on the down low. Ah, fuck! I just said it across all the damn internet. See, this is why they don't give me any OPSEC information.
Hey, at least you didn't tell him about Whizzle Trizzle.
Shush! I need to get Mumble set up on my wife's computer so I can get her on the show and ask her questions about her alpha experience. We'll actually have a segment on the show called Ask a New Bro, or in this case, Ask a New Brolet, because she just refuses to be called a new bro.
That's unfortunate. I thought new bro was like genderless.
It's as genderless a term as you're gonna get in this game.
Yep.
I mean, even Tannis here was a new bro at one point.
Yep. Actually, one of my favorite things to do is to masquerade as a guy, because in the recruiting process, I did this a lot when I was recruiting for LomCorp. And then people would be like super surprised that I was a chick, and I'm like, yep, how can I help you? Things and stuff. What?
Just tell you're 16, your voice hasn't changed yet.
I could, yeah, for sure. Especially when I'm sick, because I sound like a boy going through puberty. It's pretty amazing. But,
Oh man, I totally forgot something that I needed to put into my introduction that I totally said I was going to do.
Bad Manny.
Yeah, the folks over in Log were kind enough to convince Alita to give me a title. I am Manny Bothans, Log's red-headed step chihuahua.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the first title I've ever had in the game. And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
Nope. But oh my goodness, I gotta call it a night. I don't know. Have Zendane send me a mail in game or something. But I gotta jet, my homies, my hombres. You do identify as bros, right? Yes? Am I minding my pronouns correctly? Sometimes I don't do that.
Forget pronouns. They don't exist anymore.
Sweet! Right, fuckers. Oh, I'll see you guys later. You're awesome. Thank you for all the people listening to us prattle on. It's always cool. I will see you next Sunday.
Awesome.
Bye.
So I decided to fly over and see if I could get my alpha through this pipe again. And there's 4 ships sitting on right through on the other side of a gate. Oh, no, now there's a 5th one. It just showed up. A Barghest, a Scimitar, and 3 rocks, or Rokes, or however the heck you say that ship.
Rokes.
Yeah, Rokes. There's 3 of those things sitting there, a Barghest and a Scimitar. And I'm a couple 100K off, and I kind of just look watching them, and it's like, pew pew pew, this and that, and explosion, shiny, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try to I'm in a blockade runner, but I don't know if I can run that blockade. Which is frustrating. Not only do I have an alpha that I want to bring through, I have things on the other side of that gate that I want to bring through from my main. It's like, you guys are... Go away. I don't want to take the 12 jump roundabout way to get to where I want to go. Because, effort.
Let's see. I get the feeling at this rate I'm gonna have to write down notes and prepare. I feel kind of dirty just for saying that.
Hey, I suggested that, I think my 4th show with you, and I was like, hey, should we do this? And you're like, nah, we're good.
Oh, it's because no, just never have. That's no.
Well, some weeks are easier than others. There's a fresh patch just announced. We can talk about that, and then we can immediately, whenever it does get launched, we can talk about it, and then when there's things on Eve subreddit or other things, then it's easy content. It's times like this where it's like, wait, now what do we say? Oh no. But yes, I can tell about my joyous adventures in trying to reacquire things that I sold off when I left this region of space. It's little things that I was like, I don't need this anymore, and now I have them, and I'm like, or I need them again because I have several BPOs here, and I was like, I'm gonna start working on. Oh wait, I have 0 minerals. I have 0, and to include the stuff to start working on ships, I don't have. So that's some of the stuff on the other side of this little gate that I want to get to, and I can't because of these jackwagons.
Gotta find which of these broadcasts my wife did are the one where I scared the shit out of her. It's one of them. Oh well, I'll let that run in the background and we'll worry about that in a bit. But for those who watch on my YouTube channel, keep an eye out on my YouTube channel, keep an eye out on my Twitter. That is totally going up at some point in time. No, gate camping is a time-honored tradition for defenders and pirates alike.
Sure, it can be, but I mean, me personally, I agree with Jarden there, saying I don't see it in me going, you know what I want to do today? I want to sit there and stare at a gate and wait for people to come through.
That's why you need a pilot on the other side so you can see them coming.
Hey, that's what alphas are for now, right?
Exactly.
It's funny, there's this ibis sitting about 3,000 kilometers off that gate. They don't want to approach the gate because they see what's going on there, but they don't seem to want to go anywhere else. It's like, just go someplace else. You're screwed. Ooh, let's see if I can make it through. Let's see what happens. They've doubled the reinforcements on the opposite gate. I'm trying to leave now. Come on, get there. Get there. Why am I not jumping? There we go. Ooh, okay. They could see me and I was scared. See, fortunately, where I'm at now, there's only a one system low sec pipe. Where I used to live, there was a two system low sec. And that made it that much more frustrating because you'd see one or two people in the first system and then a whole freaking 5, 6 of them on each gate on the other side. And they would switch which systems they were doing this in. So you'd see one or two and be like, oh, crap. Or you'd see all 6 and be like, okay, as long as I can make it through this, I'm good.
Hey, Scott's back.
Yeah, I am.
Awesome. So, was there ever a pod side last night, or did that not happen?
I don't know. I went to bed.
Yeah, I was going to stick around and see if there was going to be a show, but then I got this massive headache, and it was like, no, it's time to call it a day.
Yeah, I don't know what happened last night, but whatever it was, I didn't want to be a part of it. I just wanted to go to sleep. I was tired.
But hey, you get to pwn noobs with sacrificial fire. That was awesome.
Yeah.
This dude did like 557,000 points of damage. That was fucking amazing. Shadow fighters are the shit. It is literally loading Plex up into your fighter base and shooting them at your enemies. I saw something interesting earlier this afternoon.
Okay.
I saw the active player count. It was over 50,000. I was amazed.
It actually peaked at around 51,000 today.
That is some fucking amazing shit.
To our good friend Pukin, who says Eve was dying and we need Eve too, go fuck yourself.
This is Eve, too.
Eve is alive and well.
I don't know how you would make an Eve 2. It's just...
Talk to Pukin about it. You'll want to hit him at the end of it.
I mean, it's winding down for the day, and we're at 23,000 players.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a dev announcement that was done today, or no, was it today? No, it was earlier. Basically, the long and short of it is, here's a bunch of helpful links. Please stop sending us tickets for login issues. Apparently, a lot of the returning players haven't gotten the memo that they need to verify their email address, and it's causing some problems.
Always something.
Yeah. Wonder if there's any new space news.
CO2 lost ammo.
I mean lore news.
Oh. Not really, but the alphas.
Yeah.
I sometimes forget that there's lore in Eve.
I should hit you.
No, it's just one of those things. Like, in other games, you have a perpetual story. Like, hey, go to this area, do that. Go to this area, do that. And it's story driven. Whereas Eve, I completely, if I wanted to, make a character, go sit in the system, do level 1 through 4 missions, and sure, there's little sub points, but at a certain point, you eventually just get the same missions anyways, and just live in my own little system and never leave and just shoot rocks and PI or whatever I want to do in that one system. I could do that if I wanted to. And so without that story forcing me to go to other zones, it's one of those things that's like, oh yeah. And then as soon as I find out about it, I'll binge read stuff. And it's like, oh wow, this is really interesting. I keep meaning to actually pick up some of the Eve books. I just, time and money. Mostly money.
Amazon. Ebooks. Do it.
Yeah. A lot cheaper that way. It's just still time, the money factor then. Because it's like,
a
I'm going to
couple
buy
of
this
bucks.
one. Well, true, and I could get one like a payday or whatever, but it's still one of those. By the time I remember, like I meant to do that, I've normally bought myself lunch, or something. I was like, oh, that's what I meant to forgo this month, was the one time I go to Subway or the one time I do that. Oops.
Dude, you need to get on them books, man. Good stories. I don't recommend the second book. That like Sisters of Eve
Templar
spinoff.
1?
No, not Templar 1. There was one between
Burning Life.
Yeah, Burning Life. Wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, sure it was Eve, but it just didn't really get my jollies off like Templar 1 and Empyrean Age did.
That's because it didn't follow the same storyline. It wasn't written by the same person who did the rest of them. It was a bit different, that's it.
It follows this dude who joined the Sisters of Eve and met this chick who is apparently a whore. Oh no, she broke my heart. Dude, this is Eve. Harden the fuck up.
You also have to realize that the citizens of Eve are a lot different than us Capsuleers, Manny.
Don't care, same words apply.
Not really.
So how many books are there?
There is a total of 3 Eve-related books. There is Empyrean Age and Templar 1, which are both sequels to one another and are written by Tony Gonzalez. And then there's Burning Life, and I cannot remember the person who wrote it. Along with those, you also have the Eve Chronicles.
The Eve Chronicles
which are
are
extremely numerous.
Yes.
But also extremely well done, and if you don't feel like reading them, you can always go listen to Zendane's podcast.
So which one's number 1?
You can buy Empyrean Age first, and that will give you your full everything you want about Eve. And my personal recommendation, this is what I did without actually knowing what I was doing, go watch all the older Eve Online trailers. All of them. So, something like Empyrean Age. And as you read the book, some certain events may or may not pop up, and may or may not give you the chills as you're reading.
Yeah, I've went back and watched a lot of the older trailers, but I did that 3 years ago when I first started playing the game, so...
Oh, so you've seen the Terran superweapon, right?
That sounds familiar, but like I said, I did this 3 years ago, so...
Well, it was a weapon that Jamil the First used on a Mimitar fleet that was encroaching into Mars space. And basically it was like this shockwave that emanated from her battleship and rippled across the Mimitar ships and totally blew them up by inverting their shield grids.
That graphic does sound familiar. I do think I've seen that one.
Now you need to go read the End of the World Chronicles.
Or listen to them on Sunday's podcast.
Or do that. Both of which are totally free, and one of which requires 0 reading. Make someone else do it for you.
So, Empyrean Age, Kindle Edition, $8.99, so...
$8.99. Damn, I paid like $3 for that shit.
Yeah, and Templar 1 and the Burning Life are each $9.99 a piece.
Ooh, fuck. I must have got a discount or some shit, because I didn't pay nearly that much.
That's okay. The hardcover for the Empyrean Age hardcover starts at $171.99. Paperback is only $3.99. Of course, these are their people's used copies and things like that.
That's, wow, I'm too broke to be paying for that shit. Good thing I already bought it. Yes, Jordan. Go check them. Go check them all out. They are awesome.
I can confirm those words. They are quite awesome.
Let's see.
I actually have a specific Amazon list for all the Kindle books I plan on acquiring someday, so I'm adding these all to it. Is Eve True Stories any good?
That is the one written about the true stories of you online. It's stories by the players, but with an artistic touch.
Ah, okay. That sounds interesting.
That was that comic book series, right?
Yes. That's the one by developers.
Yeah, the comic book series. One of the I think the big one that they did was what was it? The Fall of Bob. The story of espionage and intrigue that preceded the fall of the Band of Brothers.
Bob.
Well, they were at one point the most powerful alliance in all of EVE Online. They had a literal stranglehold on Tech 2 manufacturing. If you wanted to build something Tech 2, you had to buy something from Bob. And, yeah. Goons weren't having that shit. And one of the Bob directors defected, literally tore the Alliance apart from the inside, and left them nothing but a cargo can with a note that says the Mittani sends his regards.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, it's also why the Mittani skinned machete in, what was it, H1Z1? It's literally a machete that says, his regards.
Huh. That's funny.
So now you can send the Mittani's regards to zombies and other people. Wow, I am actually reading something that is somewhat useful on the Imperium News website. I'm very surprised, but I am going to share this little bit. It was written by Modern Inferno, and it's all about finding and joining corporations in EVE Online. And he's put up a list of things that most corporations do when you apply, and it's really actually very handy. So I'll give you the TLDR for it. So basically, he's got a couple paragraphs up here about finding the right corporation for you, but I'm going to skip to the interesting part after you've found a corporation. So you found a corporation. That's great. You want to apply, and the process is different for every corp, but there's a couple things that pretty much all serious corporations do. For example, corporations involved in PvP or that have a lot of OPSEC information, they will have some hoops for you to jump through, and this is the short list of most of the hoops that you go through. And I can confirm a lot of this because we do this in MeriQ Enterprises all the time. So first off is the application. It's not the same as, hitting apply to corporation in game and waiting for one of us to respond. Most corporations will have a third-party application that they use. I know that our corporation does. It's linked in our recruitment channel. So you fill out the application. This is where you put in your API key and you tell us a little bit about yourself. You shouldn't really get hung up on too many questions unless, they're really fun. It's a game after all. But basically, it's our way of trying to figure out who you are and what you like to do. Afterwards, if they like your application, most corporations will have a voice interview. Most of the time, and I'll tell you the truth on this, most of the time it's just so that we can verify you can actually speak in comms. If you can't do the voice interview, obviously you can't talk on comms, and if you can't talk on comms, we can't help you if you're in trouble. Then we do the API check, which is something that the recruiters do in the background. It's not something that I do because I would miss all kinds of things, or I would pick over every little thing. So they don't make me do that. It works out better that way. Then there's a trial period after we accept you into the corporation. There's, in some cases, it's like a 30-day. Sometimes it's a 90-day trial. It's basically for you to get a handle on how we operate and for us to get a handle on how you would like to participate in our organization. And then after that trial, you get cemented in as a permanent member. There's a fucking party. We shower you in ISK. No, not really. And you are a full-time member of the corp. Did I miss out on anything that other folks do?
Not really.
Wow, I may not be the world's worst recruiter after all.
We can change that right now if you'd like.
Just in the case of Scott Von Cleves Corporation, we also need a blood sample and a signed contract promising us your firstborn.
Your first what?
Firstborn.
Oh, firstborn child.
No, firstborn kitten.
Shut up.
And if you don't have a cat, you need to buy a cat. Do it now.
You're both idiots.
And that's why we shit up the internet together.
I don't shit up the internet. I try to bring intellect and knowledge.
Operative word in that sentence is try.
Attempt, really.
But shitting up the internet is much like the Force. Do or do not. There is no try. Oh god, I've gone Yoda. I think I need more beer.
So you can go Jar Jar?
Oh, no. We never want me to go Jar Jar. Because I go Sith Jar Jar. I am fully convinced that Jar Jar Binks is the most clever Sith Lord in the history of Sith.
He might be the most clever, but definitely not the most successful.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, long before Emperor Palpatine found Anakin, Jar Jar did.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why Manny Bothans is an idiot.
Maybe it's just the most brilliant thing that you never thought of.
No, I assure you, you're an idiot.
You tell it to those NPC miners I blew up today.
You needed a fleet.
To be honest,
I rest my case.
those nullsec response fleets, they are fucking tough. There is no way you're going to solo any of that shit.
Please touch on the doll where the nullsec fleet hurt you.
Oh, they didn't hurt me, but they got my Logipilot right in the exhaust ports.
That made you watch.
I was trying to stifle all the giggling I was doing, but yes, I was forced to watch. It was terrible. No, but those response fleets, they do not fuck around. We ended up with... it didn't even go up all the way to battleships. We were taking on an Angel mining fleet. The Angels were in retrievers. And no, this one was in skiffs. I remember we came across a skiff fleet. I accidentally let my target get away. Whoops. And then we went against a retriever fleet. I totally nailed my target down and took him the fuck out, just to make myself feel better. And then we came across another skiff fleet that was defended by, that ended up being defended by Cinnables and other Angel frigates. And they've got tackle frigates that will come and fucking tackle your ass. They've got Logi pilots that will do Logi for their fleet. And they have fucking DPS cruisers that will thump your hull into non-existence if you let them. And apparently we needed 3 Logi pilots instead of 2. A lesson we learned after losing one of our Logi pilots, and we're like, nope, clear tackle and get off the field. No, but the first skiff fleet we came across, I was like, no, I got this. I put my scram on the skiff. I'm like, there's no way he's getting away from me. And then I realized I hadn't used my dual webs on him, and he got away from me. I'm like, why is that skiff already 7,500 meters? Oh shit, he's already 7,500 meters, and as soon as I realized that, he was already at 9,000, was gone. Those motherfuckers warp off quick as soon as they get out of scram range. No, but we also determined something about these mining fleets. So the big loot from these mining fleets actually come from the haulers. If you just shoot the mining vessels themselves, yeah, sure, you're going to get some rocks, but really, what are you going to do with a hold of concentrated Veldspar in nullsec? Not shit. So the real loot comes in when the haulers come through to pick up all the rocks. The thing is, with these NPC mining fleets, apparently CCP never figured out how long it would take for one of these NPC miners to fill up their cargo holds and summon their haulers, because we were sitting on grid with this fucking retriever fleet for like a half an hour, and nothing. The retrievers were mining the whole time, but seriously, it does not take half an hour to fill a retriever. Of course, I'm speaking from other people's experience who have told me, it doesn't take half an hour to fill a retriever. I myself have never flown one.
No, I don't see how it could take you that long for a retriever, unless you had horrible skills and T1, and and even then, I don't know, I haven't flown a retriever in a long time. I fly my skiff.
Yeah, it's proc skiff or go rat. At least it is for me. I really don't see the big deal with the other 2 Exumer lines. It's just, I never saw the appeal to it. Oh great, my cargo hold is twice as big, but I have no tank. Or, oh great, I pull in rocks at incredible speeds, but I have no tank. I need to have some tank on my mining vessel. That's just, I gotta have it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see their usefulness in high-sec mining, or in some kind of mining op where you had enough heads up, where it's like, oh, if anybody's coming, we'll know they're coming 3 systems away, so we can just run away. Like, I get stuff like that, but for solo stuff, it's unless you're staying in high-sec and not war-decked, it's just, yeah.
So apparently I'm getting confirmations from the folks in the Twitch chat. Apparently if you're using minor ones, it could totally take a half an hour. That's too damn long. We didn't feel like waiting. It was like, okay, you guys are done mining. Because, I mean, apparently none of our standings were bad enough for them to immediately summon the defense fleet. So we showed up in the asteroid belt, we killed the regular asteroid belt rats, and then we're just sitting there. Literally, each one of us is like 2,000 meters away from a target. And it's like, okay, so they should be calling in a hauler. They don't seem to be reporting us in their intel channels. And that's about the only big difference between the NPC mining fleets and actual player response. If you don't have bad standings with them, they are quite literally NRDS. They will just totally fucking ignore you until you start shooting. And by then it's already too late. Unless they fucking bring in Cinnables, the fucking bastards, god damn it. Nah, the FC for the fleet was like, I'm sorry we didn't get a hauler. I'm like, dude, nah, I came here to try out the new content. I tried out the new content. Op success.
So by default, they're, like you said, NRDS. So, and that's for all security levels, right? Like high sec, low, and null?
I'm assuming so. This is how they were behaving in null, and one would think that null-sec miners are a bit more skittish than high-sec miners, and low-sec miners, well, they just don't fucking exist, so we ignore them.
Yeah, earlier when at first belt I hit, there was 3 ventures, and I saw them, and I didn't think much of it. Then I looked down at local, and I realized I was the only one of 2 people in local, and I'm seeing 3 ventures. I was like, what the heck is that?
Did
So
you not see the giant diamond in their name?
I wasn't paying attention. I was just like, I saw them, and again, this was when it was on the other screen. And I was like, oh, what are these? And I was kind of felt like shooting them, but I was like, no. I want to play more Overwatch, because I'm only getting to play this weekend because they're doing the free weekend, even though I would love to buy it. I just can't right now. So.
Oh, that's sad. You should really, really fucking buy it. It is an awesome game. I say that even though I'm absolutely terrible at it. I'm like lowest of low tier in competitive mode. I've just stopped trying. At this point, I'm looking to try and tank my scores as low as I can now. For me, competitive mode is now a troll. I'm going to become the lowest of the low. I'll become the worst of the worst of the worst.
You play on computer or a console?
PC gaming, Master Race.
I assumed as much, but I still had to ask because, some people. I mean, I play a few games on console too, so. Anyways, no, you'll have to give me your Battle.net stuff later. Because I will get this game eventually, just hopefully while it's on sale.
Battle.net stuff, Battle.net stuff, Battle.net stuff.
Yeah, I thought I could be your friend on there too.
There it is. I figure I'll post it in Twitch chat while I'm at it. It is, of course, if I can never get it to load. No, but I've taken to playing The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth while ratting. It's really easy for me to just clear out a stage and then check local. And then clear out another stage and check local. And then clear out a third stage, check local, and go to a new site. I've just been making ludicrous amounts of money that way. Of course, my win streak in Binding of Isaac is minus 49. Because apparently Overwatch is not the only game I'm terrible at. Apparently anything that requires reflexes greater than Eve, I'm terrible.
Yeah, I was playing with my normal keyboard and my mouse, and I have a Razer mouse, but I have a Microsoft wireless keyboard, and I could start to the same delay that I felt other times in games like that. I was like, I can feel the delay, and so I had to start setting up my Orb Weaver pad, and then I was like, no, because then I have to close this out because it glitches, and I was like, I just want to keep playing. Screw it, I'll deal with the delay.
Yeah, that's a terrible mistake, especially if you're playing a character like Sombra.
Yeah. I was playing Zen whatever, the robot.
Zenyatta.
Zenyatta.
Yeah, he's fun. I was playing as him, and
Zenyatta requires some accuracy in order to do some damage, but fortunately doing damage is not the only thing he does.
Yeah, I got gold medal a couple times for healing and assists or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was. Something. And
Probably
then,
assists. Anytime somebody kills a target that you have Orb of Discord on, it counts as an assist for you.
Yeah. That was the big thing. I was running around pressing shift and E. Shifty!
Shifty, shifty, shifty motherfucker till you ult. Then you float around and heal shit.
Yeah, that one, and then the damage person I was using the most, which was still only for like 3 or 4 rounds, was that chick who can jump really high and has a rocket booster.
Farah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that one.
Or, as I affectionately call her, the giant fucking target.
Yeah, she's gotten some very, very bad nerfs lately and makes it very, very hard to use her ult and or do anything useful with her.
Well,
Yeah.
you also have to consider the fact that 90% of her meaningful gameplay is done from the air. And when you have a target that's in the air in a game where most of your targets are primarily on the ground, it makes you highly visible.
I found that out when I jumped from a bridge. There was like 3 or 4 people down. I think it was 3 people. And I did my special ability, whatever the heck it's called. And I wasn't even 2 seconds in and I was dead. I was like, oh, this sucks. So after that, fortunately the next round, we were in, I don't know what the place was, but there was like these little tunnels that only I could rocket to in some cases. And so I was jumping up there, and so I was kind of just shooting from up there like, okay, I have some cover now, and did much better. I think I got 19 kills that round.
Justice
King's
reigns from a...
Pretty much. That's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, that sounds like King's Row. It's one of my favorite maps to play her on.
No, but
That and,
I have
Hans
figured out
Park.
some tricks for Sombra, in case you're interested. So, Sombra is a new character that they've introduced in Overwatch. She has a cloaking device. She can hack things. If she hacks health packs, it ups your spawn rate and prevents the enemy from using them. If she hacks enemy players, it prevents them from using all of their abilities, all of them. And it also shows you what their ultimate charge is. She's also got a translocator beacon. She can throw that like a grenade, and then she has like 15 seconds to teleport back to it whenever she wants. And she's got that submachine gun, which can do some pretty decent damage at close range. Now, she's not the beefiest of characters. She's only got 200 hit points, which is pretty average for low HP characters. And my trick with her is you've got to set up the field. You don't just go in guns blazing like you would with like Soldier, or you don't sneak your way around and attack them from the flanks like you would with a Reaper or something like that. What you do is you've got to set up the field to your advantage. So you find a big health pack close to where you're going to be doing your fighting, and you hack that. Hacked health packs last for a minute, and they respawn like crazy. Once your target comes into view, you throw down your translocator beacon on that health pack, and then you cloak up. Make your way to the enemy, find the weak link, find your healers, find your flankers, find the people who really rely on their abilities, and decloak by hacking them. Then cause havoc behind their lines, and when you get low on health, teleport back to your translocator beacon, and boom, you're right on top of a full health kit, and you're ready to get back into the fight.
And you say you suck at these games.
I am really great at strategizing for these games. Executing on said strategy is slightly different.
Yeah, that's always the catch, ain't it?
I am great at strategizing for shooter games. I am just not that good at delivering ordnance. No, my aim is just, it's fucking terrible. The only reason I can do anything with fucking Reaper is because I literally wait until I'm right up somebody's asshole, and then I go blam, blam, blam with shotguns. Shotgun in the asshole kills just about everyone.
I would imagine.
Except in the cases where it doesn't, in which case I use my holy shit, get the fuck out of here button. I'm a ghost running. And of course, if I can, survive long enough to blast that asshole into oblivion, as Reaper, they drop a tasty little nom nom soul that I can use to regain health. So I'll continue blasting. With certain characters, it's trying to realize when you're going to win and when you're going to want to get the fuck out of there. Because it's not always immediately apparent. And of course with Sombra, now that is going to be even more difficult because now you don't know if that Tracer you're going after is by herself or if Sombra is going to come up behind you and unload her SMG into your asshole like she was Reaper. And then, oh yeah, totally forgot there's a Tracer in front of me and now I'm dead. It's like investing my hit points with South Park Bank and Trust. Okay, we're going to take your hit points, put them in a 401k, and they're gone.
Yeah, I'm going to try to maybe play another couple rounds soon. Like, I plan on getting off of this soon. I don't know, maybe 15, 20 more minutes so I can get another round in or two before I have to go to bed because I have to adult tomorrow.
See, all I have to do tomorrow is sleep and not lose my mind.
Well, Manny, I hate to tell you, but I think you already lost your mind.
No, one of my wife's friends showed up at our doorstep today with nowhere else to go. And some of my wife's friends I find it hard to get along with because they talk and talk and talk and don't really say anything.
I know the type.
Yeah, one of those types is in my living room. And I don't see her going away anytime soon. I was so glad to do the show just for the chance to close my office door. The big old sign that says "Do Not Disturb, live broadcast in progress."
Now you just need the big red light or a neon sign that says "On Air."
No, I think I've come up with something. I'm gonna hang this here Halloween mask on the doorknob. If that doesn't say "Don't come in here," I don't know what will.
Alright, I believe on that note, I do have to retire. I do have to go adult tomorrow, so.
I guess we can call it here. Let's go ahead and go into shoutouts. We'll start those shoutouts from the bottom. So, why don't you give us a shout out before you go adult?
Shout out to my new corporation, Pathway of the Next. Wormhole people, if you looking for that new life, join us. Wormholes are fun. And my best wishes to Thorn with whatever happens in the current war.
Oh man, yeah, they are fighting hard. What was it, Mo that they lost the Citadel in recently?
I'm not sure about the Citadel and MO, but NCPO and friends did manage to take the iHub today. So that's where all of CO2 assets are currently staged, and they have SOV. So it's only a matter of time till PL makes their move for the Citadel. And they'll most likely lose a few supers and maybe a Titan or two, but once they have those ships on field, that Keepstar's going to go down.
Well, one can only hope that Circle of Test gets their shit out.
Where are they going to go, though?
I don't know, but I know where Asset Safety is going to take their shit if they don't get it out.
Very true, but only time will tell. And we'll have to go off that.
All right, and Kazumi. Kazumi, wake up. You know, 9 times out of 10, he starts up and jokes around like he's asleep, but I think he might actually be asleep. I'll yell and scream into the microphone when we're done recording. Kazumi wants to give a shout out to all his bros in Matsuya Heavy Industries and all of his bros over in the super secret high sec mining corp that he doesn't want to tell us about because it's super secret and it's high sec. He also wants to give a shout out to me, Manny Bothans, because I'm so awesome and he wishes he could be half as cool as me. Damien?
My shout out this week are somewhat short. Well, normally they're short, but anyways, shout out to the 2 new Twitch followers I've got this week. Thank you. You've brought me up to a grand old 75. So thank you. 25 more, and I do a giveaway. I said I'd do it at 100. It's just taking forever to get to 100. I have stuff ready. So yeah, if you're listening, look for. I'm going to do a shameless plug here in twitch.tv/D4ever777. That's me. Find me. Follow me. You know you want to. Anyways, beyond that, if there is anybody who's just getting into the game that is an alpha and doesn't want to go to scary low or nullsec yet, I am the CEO of a just beginning sort of high-sec corp, and I'm not too worried about things because guess what? I have NPC corp alts, so worst case scenario, I just have to play on them for a little bit and let people waste their iskies. So if you want to join and whatnot, find me in game, Damien Scathalar, and yeah, we'll see what we can do.
You have 75 followers already? I fucking hate your guts right now. I only have 68.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I do want to give a shout out to everyone who shows up for the show. It is much easier to do a show when there are people to talk to, as opposed to when I try to do a show by myself, in which case I record for 20 minutes, only have 5 minutes of audio, and all 5 minutes of that sucks balls. If you're interested in making an appearance on the show, to just plug whatever you're doing in Eve, loud and bitch whinely, whine and bitch loudly, words in English, ready, and go. Come and join us on the show. I am firmly of the opinion that opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Most of them stink, so let's go shit up the internet together. You can send your messages to Manny Bothans in game. You can find me on Twitter at MrMannyBothans, and you can find me on Twitch at Manny_Bothans. For Damien, Kazumi, the absent Scott, and Tanis, and myself, this is Manny Bothans, reminding you that Manny Bothans died to bring you this broadcast. Fortunately, his medical clone is somewhere nearby.